Hey, how's it going everyone? This character needs no introduction. I'm sure you all know what series this is from and the character, but this is from Aniplex, a 1/8 scale. Now, it is on the smaller scale of 1/8 because the Kotobukiya Tanjiro was a bit bigger than this, but this is, I believe, the only Tanjiro figure right now that has a cool water dragon effect, while the others is just plain Tanjiro with a normal base. Now, before I get started with the review, I do want to mention that the majority of the figure collecting community do not like this figure, and I can see why. First off, it's quite expensive, and there are many flaws with this, but in my opinion, I freaking love it. Maybe it's just the water dragon, but I love this figure. No regrets. At first, I was having a bit of a buyer's remorse because there were many problems people mentioned, but having it in front of me now, I can't overlook them. First, let's talk about the things I do like with this figure. The general sculpting is pretty damn amazing, especially the hair sculpting. You see individually sculpted hairs. The clothing especially, he's in a dynamic pose, so his clothing should look like it's being blown in the wind. Lots of wrinkles, folds, and curves. And the sculpting for the dragon, to me, it's wonderful, especially the white areas. That just looks beautiful in my opinion. Now, the problems with this figure is the general painting, especially towards the back. You do see some paint bleeds, or several paint bleeds. It's not as clean on the back. And you can't see it on camera because you have to look up close, but the white painting on the dragon is really bad. There are areas where there aren't even any paints or painting applied to it. So that's really bad, especially like an area right here. You can kind of see marks on it, or clear marks, scratches, whatever it is. So overall, it's just, painting in general is really bad. But the sword has this nice gloss to it, and they can't really screw it up. I mean, it's just a plain black sword. But generally, sculpting is good, but painting is bad. Another problem I really dislike about this figure is the face. The face looks horrible to me. It looks like something you would find in a prize figure, not on a $200 figure, and that's how much this costs, which is why I can see the community not being happy if they did purchase this, because it just looks awful. To me, I think the nose is a bit big, and the mouth sculpt is really bad. Again, it reminds me of something you would find in a prize figure, something that costs like, what, $30? So, not good whatsoever for the face, but the dynamic pose and the overall general sculpting of the dragon and the clothing is really good. Now, this is another complaint made by the community. A lot of people don't like the color used for the water dragon. It does have this nice shine to it, a nice gloss coloring, but it doesn't look like a water effect, essentially. It looks pretty bad in terms of painting. For me, I love it, right? I'm okay with it, but that's something to be aware of. These are concerns, or I guess you could say complaints, that was raised by anime collectors or anime figure collectors. Now, you do get two base. One is connected to the water dragon, which I'm using right now, and the other one's just a plain black base, which you shouldn't use. I mean, if you're going to spend this much money, you might as well get a cool effect like this. So this is just a quick side-by-side comparison with a 1/7 scale anime figure. You guys should know who this is, Saber from Fate Stay Night, made by Kotobukiya. And this is, as a reminder, a 1/8. So 1/7, 1/8. But as mentioned before, this is on the smaller scale of 1/8 because the Kotobukiya Tanjiro figure is a lot bigger from what I recall. I don't own that figure because I didn't like the face. So my final thoughts on this figure, I freaking love it. I mean, it is expensive. I think it was around $220, something like that, with shipping included. But there are two versions I forgot to mention. This is a limited edition or a special edition, whichever you want to call it, that gives you the water dragon. There is a regular one, which is a bit cheaper. I believe it's like $170, $180, and it just gives you Tanjiro and a black base. I do not recommend that. The beauty about this figure is the water dragon. So if you are planning to get this, don't get the standard one, get this. That is something that I really recommend because it just looks horrible without the water effect or the water dragon. But I believe, let's see, it was like $170, $180, so maybe $40 more. $50 more for the water dragon, which is, again, something I would recommend. Now, it is very pricey. If you love Tanjiro and you want to collect a figure of him, I would recommend the Kotobukiya one if you're on a budget or you don't want to buy this figure. But the Kotobukiya one doesn't have any effects on it. I think it's just Tanjiro in a dynamic pose, standing upright, something like that. But it is a bit bigger than this. Now, you could also wait for a future cool, I guess, the fire-breathing Tanjiro. I'm sure they're gonna make one. Come on, it's one of the most iconic scenes in anime, not just a series, in anime, okay? So I'm pretty sure figure companies are gonna make Tanjiro using the fire dragon or fire-breathing technique. That is without a doubt in my mind. So if you want to skip this one and wait for that version, again, there's no guarantee, but come on, let's be realistic here. They're gonna make it. They're gonna make bank with that version. So you can wait, and then hopefully they'll make a fire-breathing Tanjiro. But my overall thoughts, I do like this a lot. Not recommend it for everyone. If you do want to pick this Aniplex figure up, I would recommend the special edition, the one with the water dragon, and not the standard one. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Look forward to more figure unboxings and reviews, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for future figure unboxings and, like I mentioned already, reviews. Take care, everyone.